Welcome to the fourth episode of Gabe's review show. This is the last episode I will be filming on this day with this outfit and this setup, but it won't be my last video ever, I promise. Today we're talking about Our Town by Thornton Wilder. Wilder, only one L. This is a play, so it's really that's a play, very short. Our Town. This plays from the 19 somethings, but it takes place in 1904, 1903, 1906. Single digit 1900s. Anyway, um, it's about a town, in case you couldn't guess that. And it's very simple, it's very laid back. I think it's very smart that the play itself is meta, where it's like stripped down. The setup of the play is an empty stage. And there's tables or chairs for people to interact with for the actors, but most of it is just nothing. Like they act out everything, and the stage manager, which is a character in and of himself, like talks to the audience at first, but also explains what's going on in the story. So he interacts. He's like the bridge for the audience to connect with the characters because he says what's going on. Anyway, the story takes place in three different years. First of all, it's like young kids kind of. Um yeah, it's these kids. The two main figures are this girl and her neighbor, and I forgot their names. I read this book so recently. I read it for the UIL literary criticism competition, and I got fourth in district, which is really good. So, oh my god, I forgot the character's name. There's a cast of characters somewhere. Let's see. George Gibbs and Emily Webb, right? So Emily and George, childhood sweethearts. The second one is about them getting married, and Emily kind of nervous on her wedding day. And then the third one is like a funeral for Emily. I think she dies in childbirth, right? So once you get past so each act, it revolves like around the town, but they're kind of the two protagonists of like the story, and it's about like their lives. That's how Wilder like frames the chronological development of the story based on them. It's very cute. Um, it's all white people, and you can't help but think like, are they racist? And they might be. This is like 1904, right? They probably are. It's a small town in the middle of like nowhere, New York. New York? Don't take my word for that. It might not be New York. It's called Grover's Corner. Grover, like the little blue one from Sesame Street. Um, so the town's named after him, right? And they don't really do anything. Like they just walk around in circles. I think that's how you best describe life back then. This isn't a critique of the book. It's a critique about the life that it's representing. Like they just walked around in circles and did nothing back then. And Thorne Wilder, his magnum opus is a slice of life of that. But when the cake you're cutting into is so boring, like I don't care, you know? So I think it's a beautiful play. I think his commentary on life and death, and like Emily, like, in that third act is getting to talk like after her funeral, and very interesting. I think that's really cool. I think it's well written. However, again, I think it's a little bit solipsistic, narcissistic even, where these characters, where Thorne Wilder, his attempt is to preserve life back then, and it's easy to think like, oh, like look how nice this town is. Life was so much better back then, but life was not good back then for like most people. It wasn't good if you were poor or gay or a woman or a person of color or a poor gay woman of color. But the slice of life preserves the lives of all these like middle class white people. Um, so I think um, it's a portrait of America, but I don't want to say like glamorized because it doesn't glamorize the things. It just it looks in one direction, and that's not the direction anyone productive in society should look to. So 3 stars.